When you write, you have to think about how your message will be received, how the reader will interpret it. One of the best ways to do that is by being an audience member yourself, by being the reader. This is helpful for a couple of reasons. First, it gives you exposure to different perspectives. You can learn a lot from other people and their writing, not only about them, but about you too. Second, you find different strategies and styles. People talk in different ways, and they write in different ways too. When you read someone else's work, you benefit from seeing how they use language to express themselves. Maybe you'll learn some new words, or new phrases, or idioms that you can use later in your own work. And thirdly, like I mentioned, it's useful to practice being the reader. This helps you to see how a text affects you, and therefore how your writing might affect the people that read it. All of these are reasons to engage the writing of others in your own journey as a writer. But of course, you don't get these benefits with just any kind of reading. You've probably done a lot of skimming in the past. This is where your eyes dart across the words looking for certain things, and you don't really think on what you're reading. For the purposes of our class, that's not enough. You need to engage in the other type of reading, critical reading. Critical reading is when you read every word and really think on it. Dive beneath the surface of a text and think about how the pieces fit together. This starts by considering the author. Ask yourself, who is writing this? What is their background? Are they qualified to talk about this? Do they know what they're talking about? And why do they care? Has this affected them personally somehow? Do you like the author? You're allowed to ask that. Maybe you don't. Maybe their personality is really obvious in their writing, and maybe it's a bad personality. That does happen. Being aware of these things will help you to make sure that it doesn't happen in your own writing. Ask who they are writing for. Who do they think is going to read their text? Women? Minorities? Baby boomers? Gen Zers? Religious people? Atheists? Do you think they are presenting themselves well to that target audience? Next, try to identify the main idea of what you are reading. Most texts either give information, tell a story, or try to persuade you of something, but no matter what they do, all texts have a main idea. If you condensed everything you just read down to a single sentence, that would be the main idea. Try to practice doing this when you read. In texts that give information, they'll often make it easy for you and actually say the main idea as a thesis statement in the introduction. This is ideal, but not everybody does it. Try to keep the main idea in mind as you read. Also, as you read, make your text messy. Write on it. Underline parts that are interesting or weird or that make no sense at all. Disagree with the author in the margins or cheer them on if you agree. Seriously, the more you put pen to paper as you read, the more you will connect with what you are reading. Speaking of reading, the next item for you to complete is a short, creative, nonfiction piece. As you read this, I want you to think about what we just talked about. Who is the author here? What is she writing about? Is she qualified to talk about this? Does she have any personal experience with this topic? Do you? And why does the author care about the topic? Who does she think is going to read it? And if you had to boil everything she said down to one idea, what would it be? I want you to answer all of this in the discussion question listed after the text.